Hey, it's Cody and Vandy Chris from the Golden Broom podcast. We are going to talk about the current coaching vacancies across America and who we think are good candidates for each job. As you've seen recently, Virginia Tech, UCLA have already cut ties with their head coaches after unfortunate starts to their season. We expect a few other schools to make the same decision maybe in the next few weeks, but definitely by the end of the year. But we will first go into Virginia Tech because let's be real, Virginia Tech on the East Coast is a very respectable school. They have a
Yep.
very good history, but the last few years just haven't been there. Just have not been what the program was under Coach Beamer for all those years, and they just need a new fire lit under them. So,
Mhm.
Chris, why don't you go ahead and let's start? Give me some of your candidates here.
So, what I've done, both of these jobs, I've made a list of three that I think would be a good fit, who should be at the top of the list, and could actually have some success at Virginia Tech. My
Okay.
first one is a no brainer. When home calls, you go home. Shane Beamer should be target number one.
And the funny thing is, when you said that, that is not who I thought you were going to say.
When home calls, you go home. And after the love affair that I witnessed in Atlanta during the South Carolina Virginia Tech game with former head coach Frank Beamer and Shane, and the love affair that Shane showed towards Virginia Tech in that scenario, I think
Sure.
there might be a possibility there.
Yeah.
My number two guy is a former national championship college football coach who is currently not coaching but is an analyst on television. Jimbo Fisher. Makes sense to me. You want to build a championship program? Yes, he inherited that program at Florida State, but he still won a national championship. You got to have an unemployed national champion in your mix, right?
Yeah.
And my third and final makes all the sense in the world. He's a first year coach over at Norfolk State who took Virginia Tech to a national championship game as a player, and that would be Michael Vick. Those are my three for Virginia Tech. I think they have to be at the top of the board.
I mean, I really like that. I think Michael Vick is a long shot just because he's new to the coaching game. But I mean, if things work out at Norfolk State for him this year and he does well and the potential shows, why not take the chance? I mean, think
Mm-hmm.
about it. If you're a high school kid, especially if you're a quarterback, that's a mobile quarterback, and you get a chance to play for Mike Vick, while the kids may not be fully aware of what Vic did on the football field, that
Mm-hmm.
kid's parents are aware.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I think that'd be cool. I also like Beamer going home. I think that would just be, I mean, that would be special. I think it would
When
mean a lot to him.
in the case of Clark Lee and James Franklin, and there's a few others out there, when home calls,
Yep,
you go home.
absolutely. I think Jimbo's the one that I don't know. I don't know if people want to touch that. It's
Right.
like, and it's no offense
He
to
would
Jimbo.
he wouldn't have the pressure there that he had at Florida State or Texas A&M, and he
Very
could
true.
just coach.
He would also not sign a contract like he signed at Texas A&M.
Right.
So, which I mean, he could essentially work at at Virginia Tech for free and be fine. But I like those picks. That being said, I shared with you my list before we went live, and I think I'm going to modify it a little bit.
Okay.
So, their interim head coach currently is Philip Montgomery, who is the former head coach of the Tulsa, and he was there from 2015 to 2022. I mean, that's a long stretch. That's really good for a coach to be at a job that long, especially in this day and age. He had a 43-53 record while he was there, which is not great, but it's also not terrible considering a lot of those losses are going to be to higher caliber teams because you're probably going to schedule at least what 2 to 3 of those a year at least. So I mean, it is what it is. He was offensive coordinator at Baylor. He was co-offensive coordinator from 2008 to 2011, and he was the sole offensive coordinator from 2012 to 2014. And he also was the mentor of RG3. So there's something there. And obviously, I feel like right now with him being the interim head coach, it's a tryout for the job.
Mm-hmm.
If he does well, I mean, why not? You probably get him for a good price, and everything's great.
Mm-hmm.
My next pick would be Alex Golish from USF.
Not a chance.
I know, no, I agree. I would think that too. I mean, he's got a great backing down there at USF. They really believe in the program. They're taking care of him. They let him run the show.
Mm-hmm.
And it'd be hard to lure him away from that. But at what point do you go from, or do you say to yourself, okay, I feel like I've done about as good as I can possibly do here, but I feel I can do better and want to take that P4 step?
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, getting to go coach in the ACC would be special. So who's to say that he wouldn't want to do that?
Yeah.
Because I don't. That's
Good
the one
point.
thing we don't know about him. Like, what is his mindset when it comes to us accepting a job? So maybe he would be interested in doing that. And then he's
Mm-hmm.
already got a quarterback down there that's been his guy that he could bring with him. It could work. Will it happen?
Mm-hmm.
No telling. My last person I'm going to say is a coach that is currently a coach in the SEC who might be on their way out currently. Billy Napier. And right now, Florida's sitting at 1-2. Last year, they bounced back from a rough start to their season and closed out pretty strong. Had some high potential coming into the season. Unfortunately for them, they struggled, and really their biggest issue for their team this year has been penalties. They're not well disciplined. They make a lot of mistakes. They gave USF the game. USF goes down, kicks a game winning field goal against LSU. Just couldn't get consistent play at the quarterback position. 5 takeaways in that game. I mean, that can't bounce back from that. So, I mean, right now, looking at Napier at 1-2, his schedule gets no easier. There's a good chance that if he doesn't accept a new job somewhere, that he is going to be unemployed after this season. So, why not? I just think it would be a good move for him. I think he'd
Okay.
be less expectations, and I think he could bring the fire back to Virginia Tech that they desperately need in this moment. But
Okay.
that being said, it's not the only school that's looking for a head coach. We got the UCLA Bruins. Fired Deshaun Foster, and now they have a tough road ahead of them. Because let's be real, Virginia Tech will not have an issue hiring a coach. For all we know, they go for a young upstart. But UCLA, on the other hand, you don't. I don't see the lure in that job. I mean, here's the thing: you go to the state of California, tax rates high. That's already a thumbs down for a lot of people. Not
Mm-hmm.
everybody, but a lot of people. I mean, if you're from the state of California, it's okay. It's whatever. You probably love it out there already. But then you have the perks of it being in LA. If that is your lifestyle, that you like that kind of you know living situation, then it's perfect. But some of the coaches that are candidates there definitely differ from what you would see at a Virginia Tech. So, Chris, I will let you start. Go ahead and give me your three.
So my three are all three current head coaches in college football.
Okay.
One of them is a national champion coach. I'm talking Matt Entz, formerly of North Dakota State. Currently at Fresno State. He's already in California.
Mm-hmm.
He I think that would be a good move for both him and UCLA.
I agree with that.
My second one, young, fiery, offensive innovator, G.J. Kinney from Texas State.
I like that a lot.
Young, fiery, can breathe some fresh life into a stagnant program.
He would bring the offense back.
And then my third one, if you want an older guy set in his ways that can win at a high level, how about Dan Mullen over at UNLV?
That would be insane.
I mean, he's done it on the East Coast of Florida. He
Yeah,
built Mississippi State up.
he did.
Now he's at UNLV, who just beat UCLA. And why not give the steady older guy a chance to rebuild something that's broken?
Yeah, because that's the one thing you can say about Dan Mullen is that he's good at building programs, and he's never been a guy that leaves a place worse than when he arrived.
Right.
And I mean, yeah, he's been ran out of town before previously, but nothing that's, I mean, but it wasn't bad. I
Yeah,
mean,
they
people
won a
point
bowl
his,
game and they fired him.
yeah, I mean, people point out his Florida days, for example. I'm pretty sure right now every Florida fan would trade, Napier for Mullen and wouldn't even think twice
100% they
about it.
would. Yep.
So. No, I absolutely love those three. I think that's great. And obviously, and before I get into my three, one disclaimer is we don't have any inside information for either of these schools. We don't know
Nope.
how they're thinking. Nobody's really released a legitimate hot list yet for any of these schools. The only name I've seen consistently pop up that we've listed is Alex Golish for the Virginia Tech job. I've seen at least 5 sources list him. Obviously, Beamer's going to be one of
I've
those guys in
I've
there.
actually seen his name on 3 lists for UCLA.
Exactly. So, which I mean,
And
but it doesn't surprise us.
and I'm just going to say I don't think either school has a chance in a snowball chance in hell of landing Alex Golders. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you why later.
Okay. Well, my 3 for the UCLA job will be Deanton Lynn from USC, formerly from UCLA, defensive coordinator. He knows the school. He definitely has earned the respect of his peers at both schools when he was there. I think that he's ready to be a head coach, but I just don't know if that if is that the direction UCLA wants to go. Do they want to go with a defensive minded coach that's getting their first shot to be a head coach? Like,
I don't think there's a snowball's chance that they go with somebody being a head coach for the first time. They just did that and it failed.
exactly. I agree. I do. Um, another name that's popped up is Tosh Lupoy, the defensive coordinator from Oregon. And I mean, he's a name that has been in circles for years.
Mm-hmm.
People have always hyped him up, which, I mean, hey, let's be real. He's fantastic at his job. He's a guy that's definitely ready for that next step.
Mm-hmm.
But does he take it is the question. Because let's be real. If you're on the Oregon coaching staff, you kind of have it made right now.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way around it. I mean, you're funneled by Nike. I guess no better than that at all, actually. So my last name that I'm going to list, and this is of the 3 that I list, this is the one that I don't think this is going to happen. But this person is ready to be a head coach. Is the current Cleveland Browns offensive coordinator, former Notre Dame quarterback, former Alabama offensive coordinator Tommy Rees. You know, a lot of people thought, hey, he might be the next guy after Saban. A lot of people thought it.
Mm-hmm.
And his name was mentioned quite a bit for the Alabama job. It just never transpired. Is he ready to leave the NFL and take over a college program? Is that going to be his style? I don't know if UCLA is the school that he would choose, but I think with his personality and the way that he likes to run an offense, I think it would be a phenomenal fit.
Mm-hmm.
So, just I just really I don't know why, but that name really just sticks in my head that I really like that match. But you know,
Mm-hmm.
UCLA make their decisions. That being said, there's a few schools that are not currently doing quite well in Division One football. You have, you know, obviously Florida's on that list of teams like, ugh, what's going on? Another team that people aren't really talking much about that should be Wisconsin is starting to struggle. Didn't look very good against Alabama at all, which I know they're on a backup quarterback at this point, and it's tough road ahead for Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
Oregon State is arguably one of the worst teams in the country this year. Same applies to Oklahoma State, who's just simply just they don't have any money. They're kind of stuck right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, who do you think who are the next couple schools you think that will be firing their head coach?
I don't know if they'll do it during the season. I firmly believe Billy Napier's done at Florida. I have two guys that would absolutely be home run hires for them.
Mm-hmm.
That would be Alex Golesh. And I think if you put Mike Gundy in Gainesville with that NIL and the facilities that he has there, that would be a nightmare. Those are the two names I'd watch out for that.
So essentially, though, so you're saying Mike Gundy is too good of a coach to be stuck in the situation that he's in now.
Yes.
I like that. I mean, because let's be real, his track record shows. I think it backs that up fully. Once NIL went into effect, Oklahoma State died.
Yeah. They don't have any NIL money. T-Boone Pickens ain't there no more.
Yep.
I think another name to look out for at Florida would be Arizona State's head coach.
That would be a match in heaven. Though I do like Golish more for the Florida job.
What he's done at Arizona State is absolutely incredible. And he'll straight up tell you, without NIL money and donations, they wouldn't have a program right now.
Yep,
So
absolutely.
he's played the NIL game perfect
Oh,
and
absolutely.
got a quarterback that would likely go with him in Sam Levitt.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the three names I'd watch there.
I like those.
I
I mean,
think
do you think though do you think with Florida, do you think at this point they are only going to hire someone that has a proven track record as a coach and not go after like a young upstart, even if they have a couple years under their belt?
their best success has always come from a younger, lesser known guy that works daylight to dark. I think Alex Golesh fits that. I think I'm drawing such a blank right now. The Arizona State's head coach,
Kenny Dillingham.
Dillingham, he's that guy. And I think that's just the direction Florida's going to look.
You know,
Young,
another name
lesser
too,
known.
though. You know, another name too is GJ Kinney. I think he fits what they're looking for as well.
Yes, that's another one.
I just don't know if they would think he's ready for that position.
People talk about Kentucky. Kentucky's stuck. I don't
They
think
really
they make a
are.
move.
Yeah,
They're
financially, it wouldn't make sense.
Well, his buyout is $34 million. The problem with that is 32 million of it is due within 60 days.
And I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure they could have a backer to cover that for them. But here's the thing. Okay, let's say a backer does cover that, and they pay the 32 million or whatever. Okay, so what are you going to do to afford a new coach?
Right.
At that point, you have to
So
get desperate and scrape the barrel to see what you can get.
I think another job that is going to open up, and this is one that doesn't have a lot of NIL money, but it always produces offensive linemen, tight ends. That's Iowa. Kirk has got the record now.
Yep.
I think they're in for a long season. I think he's going to hang it up at the end of the year and retire.
Yeah,
And
I see that.
I think the perfect fit for that job would be John Summerall.
I like that. I like that a lot, actually.
But those are the two I got my eyes on: Florida and Iowa.
I like that. I think that makes sense. I think Oregon State, Oklahoma State, Florida. Um, but outside of that, I think we're probably kind of safe in terms of like big schools. You know, another one though to consider, Colorado, with Dion's health being an issue. Their team, I will say, their team has been more competitive this year than I expected.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think Dion hangs it up after this year? Now that his boys are out,
If Dion hangs it up, there's only one way you can go on that job. Only one. The only way you. Eric Bieniemy.
Yes, yes.
Bring in the Allen, who's been a fantastic NFL offensive coordinator. It makes the absolute perfect sense.
I mean, that's a match made in heaven right there. Huh. I do like that. Well, all right. This has been our longest short that we've done. That being said, we appreciate you watching tonight. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on our next episode.
On the diamond where they play, sweeping competition every day.